Welcome to the show. This is The Force Always. My name is Diz, aka David Zammer. Let's go on the show with the news, the views, the reviews, and interviews. And today is a special edition. I'll be giving a review to Disclosure Day. I'm about to head out now to check it out. So, to the regular Star Wars news, the only type of news at the moment is pretty much rumors flying around with the Starfighter film. It's only rumors, nothing's substantiated yet. But today being a special edition, that's all I've got time for with the news. And regarding my interview section, which is my last comments or questions that I had on my last particular video, that will be in the next video, as today is pretty much a Disclosure Day, or actually evening, that I'm going to see right now. And so let's go and check out Disclosure Day with The Force Always. Okay, we're almost there. I'm going to Palace Cinemas in South Yarra. That's a part of Melbourne. So let's check it out. This is a really funky cinema. So let's go and see Disclosure Day. I'll see you soon. Okay, I've just seen Disclosure Day. Now for the review. Welcome back. Yes, I've just seen Disclosure Day. Let me just get a bit more centered here. Sip some late night sort of stuff here. Now, it's Wednesday night here. It's advanced screening. The actual movie comes out tomorrow, technically. Yeah. So I've seen an advanced screening. I went to as you saw, it's a Palace Cinema, which is another brand, more of an independent brand, at the Como Cinemas in South Yarra, right near the centre of Melbourne. Real funky cinema, all I can tell you. Maybe not the biggest screen, maybe not the best seating, but it's still a very funky cinema. Let's get into Disclosure Day. Straight off the bat, this film gets a 7.8 out of 10. Now, how to describe this without giving much away is going to be pretty hard. So this is going to be partial spoiler, partial. Okay, so please understand it's going to be a partial spoiler review. Now, for a large part of the start of the film, the story is pretty much a chase, and it sort of has you captivated in that chase, sort of learning the concept of, how this extraterrestrial sort of movie is going to work itself out, the rules of the game of this particular film. It sort of plays on rules that it's a little bit fantasy, but it bases itself in a lot of reality. So, a large part of it was sort of hovering, to be honest, to be 6 out of 10. It does accelerate more towards, in the second, as I call the body of the film, the second part of the body of the film, which is known as the second act, and it does sort of climax all the way to the third act, or what I call is the outro, where I sort of then almost gave it an 8 out of 10, but I said 7.8 out of 10. It's a film that is profound. It's very life-meaning. There's a lot of religion working with the idea of an alien reveal. It's just regular humanity, spiritual sort of belief. Whether no particular religion, but it does show across. So, I'm sure it's either Christian or Roman Catholic or something like that. That it really plays the religion with the actual story of an alien reveal. It is, look, Emily Blunt was the lead. She was great. Like, she was really, really good. But I think she was not the perfect choice, in my humble opinion. I think she was just a look. Even though uh, news reporters can be a little bit stale and how they present themselves and stuff like that, I don't know. I just don't know if she was the actual one, but she was definitely great. Definitely the highlight of the film in acting was the lead evil sort of guy, the guy with the beard, grey beard. Um, Not me, but this guy in this film, and he was definitely, his voice and his mannerisms and his acting, and was really good. I thought the lead guy who's being chased with Emily Blunt, which I don't know these two actors' names, he was a really good choice too. There's a lot of Steven Spielberg's direction in this. He actually works a lot of reflections, and real images with reflections. It was used quite a bit in the film, and it sort of gives it a sort of a dimension. But you got to really look for it to sort of understand what I'm saying. But there was a lot of reflections there. I think the worst part of this film, I thought the reindeer, especially the fox, which was what some of these animals looked a little bit animated, almost cartoon-like. Especially the fox. The reindeer was pretty good, but the reindeer, whatever it is, it was the fox was a little bit. It looked a little bit cartoony. The whole progression of the film was good. Now I won't give this away. There's an ending word. An ending word. I don't know if it's the perfect profounding word to end this type of film. It does have a lot of meaning to it. It sort of gets you to sort of act upon something. Well, I'm not going to give the word away, but I will. This is where it gets a little bit spoilerish. Towards the end of the film, which is pretty obvious, that we're going to see a bit more of the reveal of the alien or aliens. And it was a little bit jarring because it looked a little bit Hollywood. Like it was, I really like that type of looking alien because it sort of is what it is meant to be. But the actual look of it looked a little bit Hollywood. In fact, the eyes looked like it was sparkling a little bit of purple haze or something. It just looked a little bit Hollywood. And I mean a little bit sort of glitz and glamoury, even though it's a grey sort of skinny type alien. Especially the one that was revealed in this TV studio setting. It was sort of, look, the mystique in this film was not really there because we saw a little bit of the alien sort of look at the start and towards the end, and sort of it gives that sort of mystique away. But it was good to sort of have that as something different. But it was really look. I saw actually a person that I knew who went to see this film. That person said a description of the film. It was thought-provoking, and it's definitely thought-provoking. This film is thought-provoking. It gets you to sort of ask yourself a lot of things about what you would do, how would you react if this was revealed to the world. Are you going to use religion? Are you going to lose your self-belief, or what is it? But look, I was amazed how much religion played a role in the actual film, which is sort of good because it gives it sort of substance and has you be thought-provoking in asking yourself. But especially towards the end, when the big whole news report sort of thing was happening, this is where it got a little bit unstuck. It was like you just felt it was being sort of forced in trying to be so dramatic. And it's really, I think it would be really hard because because of today's technology with AI and special effects, if there was an alien landing now, or there has been, it's going to be really hard to prove to the world because we are being so advanced that it would take the hugest skeptics in the world to say, no, that's fake footage. It really is. It would be really, really hard. But I just thought the news reports towards the end were really pushing hard for like a closure to this film to give it sort of substance. And it was sort of look, the main reporter, which was not Emily Blunt, another one, she actually did a really good job, but it was still just not enough. And I don't think it's actually the actress's fault. I think it's the time we are in now because we are so privileged to great looking special effects and AI. It's just the idea of aliens landing or like an actual an alien craft. We're so used to the possibility being there that it's like it's real. Like we know it's there, but we're just waiting for it. This film also does have you think of, it's sort of like a cushioning effect, this film. It's sort of like the calm before the storm. It's like this, it's preparing us for a possibility that could be coming soon. Now, I'm not saying this is a conspiracy theory that Spielberg knows and whoever knows, it doesn't matter. But it seemed like a cushioning effect. Spielberg definitely delivers in his great sort of angles and reflection type shots. John Williams' score was good, but it was at times it mismatched the sort of scene I found. But there was one particular composition that was so similar to an E.T. Composition, because it was almost similar, like the riff. There was like a piano or something like that, a riff. It's if you've got to know E.T. to know what I'm talking about and the actual part of the film, but it sort of appears in the middle. But it was something. It was similar. Not to say that it was an E.T. moment, but it did remind me of it. It was either similar or it was maybe a version of. I did like the soundtrack. I do love John Williams. It was, some of it was a little bit mismatched. I just thought his compositions outweighed the scene sometimes, and sometimes the scene needed composition. And so, but overall, this is definitely a film. I don't know if this is a film that you'd have to see in a cinema. I don't know if you really have to even see it in IMAX. It's worthy to go. Look, I think going to see it with people in the cinema is great. The audience I was with really stayed to the end, like they were waiting for a post-credit scene. But this is a more mature type audience, and it was quite full. It was about third full. This is an opening session. It's a weeknight here, but people stuck around and really started talking about the film and about the ideas of the film. So seeing it at the cinema will just get you sort of in that zone. But I don't think it's, something that you must see on a big screen and a big cinema sound. You could watch this at home. But being a Spielberg film for me, it's great to see at the cinema. That's what I'll say. And there was no popcorn cups or containers, which is sort of good because it's not the type of film that you really need this. You may get it somewhere in the world, but not this. Especially the cinema I was in, it was more of like a real cool person cinema, and I love this cinema. It's great. It's funky. It's fun. It's just whatever. Anyway, so I've given this a 7.8 out of 10. That's for Disclosure Day. I've attempted to describe this as best as I can. But, so the next episode I will attend to the interview section and have a normal show. So subscribe to the channel, The Force Always. I'm here 3 or 4 times a week. with the Star Wars news, views, reviews, and interviews. And some of my reviews can be about films that have got nothing to do with Star Wars, but it sort of gives it a Star Wars point of view perspective and an Australian perspective as well. And I like to sort of mix it up that way, but it's essentially we're a Star Wars channel here at The Force Always. Subscribe, again, The Force Always. Like and share if you like. Send in your comments whether it is it's going to be deemed appropriate to the channel. And that's it. And until next time, my friends, keep rocking.